The Weekly Express is rolling into station. Get ready to discuss all things gaming with Caleb and Derek.
Welcome back to the Weekly Express with Caleb and Derek.
Hello. So yeah, we're going to be playing some Rocket League while we're doing the podcast this week. As obviously, recently had a big update with a whole bunch of Rick and Morty content. As you can see with my sexy car, Mr. Poopy Butthole, and Rick here running with his portal gun and my sexy portal wheels. Yeah, I'll just probably be doing some casual junk rumble mode just while we play.
Exactly. I guess we've seen a lot of Rick and Morty updates in games lately because the new season is coming out. And I mean, how fitting that I just made that switch to doing Rick and Morty theories on my channel, which have been going very well. Very, very well.
Yeah. That
first theory that I posted, the Rickest Rick, I posted a little bit over a week ago. It's over 110,000 views. So in like less than 10 days, which is amazing, and I appreciate it, everybody. Great start to a new series, and it really makes me want to keep making more. It also has brought on like a lot more comments to my channel, and it gave me like 400 more subscribers. So very good. I definitely appreciate it, and I'm glad you guys are taking a liking to the new series.
Yeah, hopefully it'll probably be here to stay for a while, especially with the new Rick and Morty stuff coming out. Did you see the like sudden live stream that they did on Adult Swim the other night?
Yeah, we didn't actually catch it, but I did hear about that.
I heard it wasn't a big deal. Like it sounded like it was just some, more like a commercial than anything. But I was just good signs that didn't they announce the actual start of the next season? The date?
Yeah. So the start of the season 3 is actually going to be on July 30th. So we've got like 3 more weeks to go. So I'm sure everybody's really pumped about that. I know we definitely are in our house.
Oh yeah, this is probably gonna be another weekly ritual to watch each episode multiple times.
Oh yeah. I mean we've been rewatching the first 2 seasons as a precursor to this. I mean really, there's just not any other show that's as good, so we just keep rewatching it. So we did our We Play live stream series this past week. We did miss the 4th of July for the holiday, obviously. But we tried some other games this time. We played Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes, and that went very well.
I missed that one, unfortunately, which is why I believe the day of the recording here tonight, we're probably going to be playing some more of that. So
yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. And it was a lot of fun to get back into that. It's been a few years, or 2 years at least, since we really played that game seriously. And we'll see how far we can get tonight, but that will be past.
You'll be seeing She's coming to you from the future.
Yeah, exactly. But I did learn some things from this past broadcast that we did. We're going to have to be a little bit more strict, not to be party poopers, but a little more strict with the Discord chat. And we're actually going to have to private the channel and just try to make sure that everyone who's in there should be in there. If you're not actually watching the live stream, you have no place in the Discord chat.
Right.
Because, how do you even know what
Well,
we're
actually,
talking about?
Technically, with Keep Talking Nobody Explodes, you're not supposed to be looking at
that's
But still, obviously, it's more like if you're not watching the stream, especially with Jackbox, something where it's necessary, and also just if you aren't actually trying to join the group and have some fun with us, then there's no reason to be there. It's just going to be causing commotion and just not necessary. So we're looking, like you said, we're probably going to make a private channel, and then we're going to have a public channel, like a lobby waiting room type thing, whereas obviously with most games you can't just hop in and out anyways. What we'll do is we'll have someone will pop up to your channel if you're in there and say, greet you, and also please make sure that you have a properly working microphone that isn't going to be sending a bunch of static and we prefer people to be on push to talk instead of voice activation. Not entirely necessary as long as you've got your push to talk or your voice activation threshold set properly. But if you hop in the channel and you're constantly holding on the mic while munching on chips or some junk like that.
Dog barking in the background.
Yeah.
Or babies crying.
Or trains going by.
Well,
but it's if it's obviously causing a nuisance, then we will make you leave the channel.
Yeah, because we had a few bad apples last time. We still had a lot of fun, but it is distracting. And with other games, maybe it was not that big of a deal. But Keep Talking Nobody Explodes requires a lot of attention, and you got to be on point in that game. And we really can't have so much nonsense going on in the chat, especially with we had somebody come in who was not watching it. And
yeah, that was so strange. He hopped in the channel in the middle of Jackbox, a game that you need to be viewing the stream for, and he had no clue what was happening, but he wanted to play. So.
And kept asking questions. It's like, if you were just watching the live stream, you'd know what was going on, buddy.
Yeah, so just, pay attention to what's going on if you're going to join in. We're all just trying to have fun doing this, but obviously we're going to make sure that if someone's causing a nuisance and isn't making it less fun for others, we're going to do what we can to stop that. So just be aware that if you see that happen, it's what we have to do to keep things, at least fun, family friendly at the best kind of thing. But,
right, and also I know we tolerated it. We had a little bit of fun with it last time,
right.
But no musical instruments. I don't think you were there for that, Derek. Somebody played the recorder.
What?
Somebody was playing Sandstorm on the recorder. Or on a kazooie, actually, a kazoo. So none of that. It was funny for a minute, but then 10 minutes in, we were all ready to die. So please keep your instruments in their cases, your kazooie neatly tucked away in your desk drawer, and we won't have.
If you really got some talent, and you want to show it to us, we can arrange that. That's why if we got the lobby now, if we pop up there and you want to play, just have some jingle tunes when something happens in the game. Maybe it could be appropriate, but we can pre-approve that. So we can, if you really want to bring that into the show, we'll have to
run it by us.
Yeah. Don't just surprise us with your sweet ass flute solos or nothing like that.
Yeah, for real. So basically, we're not trying to be Nazis or anything about it. So we're gonna be just slightly enforcing some rules to keep things flowing better, and everybody can have a lot more fun that way.
Right. It's still a very new thing we're trying here, and we're just trying to make it as best as it can be. Who knows what it's going to become, or if it's going to go anywhere, but this could be, we see potential in this, and we think it could be something really cool and fun for a lot of people.
Right. And I've actually gotten a request. Someone commented on the video, the past broadcast of the podcast, and asked that we start doing them live. Now, at the moment, we don't have plans to do that, but maybe if there is enough interest generated, we can figure out some type of arrangement to do a live rendition of our podcast while still maintaining the Sunday upload schedule for the recording. But it would really depend on interest, whether it would be worth our time to actually do that or not.
Yeah, if enough people do want to see it live, which really it wouldn't be anything really different from the video that you would see when it just uploads normally. Most likely, it's more going to be you might see some behind the scenes junk just when we're setting up and preparing and getting things ready, and possibly outtakes. Who knows? But yeah, and also of course you do get the information earlier. But yeah, it's still going to be will be uploaded on the regular times as usual.
Right. Yeah. The broadcast might be on Thursday. Well, it would be on Thursday, but the video would still be going up on Sunday. There you go.
Oh yeah.
You guys get smoked.
It was over time. I squandered a few really nice shots here. But.
So yeah, talking about last time, to kind of expand. Last time we talked about nostalgia a little bit and ukulele. Well, I had a little bit more of recent nostalgia this week, where I kind of was really wanting to play Diablo for some reason, Diablo 3 in particular, and I was trying really hard to get it set up to work where I could play it with a wireless controller on my Steam Link. So a non-Steam game on a Steam Link with a Xbox controller, and I cannot tell you how many hours I wasted doing that, but eventually I just gave up, and while my wife was asleep, I played some on my computer, and it actually was pretty fun playing it for the first time in a few years now since the last time I played it. I don't think it's going to last me very long, but before I reinstalled Diablo 3, I thought, well, there's games on Steam that are comparable, at least based on the reviews, And I remember that I had actually purchased a copy of a game called Victor Vran. I got it off of like a Humble Bundle deal, and I never activated it. So I popped that on there. And all the reviews, man, of this game talk about how it's so vastly superior to Diablo 3, and it sucks. It was so bad. Like, that, had it been okay, I wouldn't have had to install Diablo 3, but it was so bad, like, there was no way of me, like, shaking that craving now. It's like, you know, when you try to fill a craving for chocolate with something that isn't chocolate, then you find yourself at, like, a gas station at 4 in the morning covered in blood, and you don't know what happened. It was kind of like that.
I mean, it's like every other week at this point, but with the video game But why is it called Victor Vran?
Because that's the name of the main character. So I mean,
you play a singular character.
Yeah, and
it's class system.
It's single character. You kind of build your class based on what weapon you're using, and it's 4-player co-op, local or online, which is weird because there's no character creator. So I imagine there's just 4 Victors running around. I don't know. He's a vampire hunter, I guess, kind of like Van Helsing. Victor Vran. I don't know.
Next video is gonna be the Vicus Victor.
Yeah,
But, I don't know, I never even played, but I played Diablo, and I pretty much we a lot of us played when it first came out.
Yeah,
we amongst us and our friends, we all played Diablo 3 when it first released, and it was a blast, like having the race to see who would get max level first, and you know, it was.
It's the first time that it was the first time out of this group of friends that I ever beat them at one of these races.
Oh yeah, you were the first one, weren't you?
I've been beat to the max level of so many games you do not understand. So many times that I eventually just stopped leveling. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, we hit 60," and I'm like, "Nah, I quit like a week ago because I saw there was no chance." And
oh yeah, just pretty much every MMO out there between Star Wars, Rift, what was that one?
Terra.
Then there was the one with the property you could throw.
Arc. What is that? Is it Arcade?
Arcade.
Arcade. Arcade was cool at first.
It was. I had so many. Remember when the reason why I quit that was because like my game would just randomly crash.
Yeah.
All the time for no reason.
But then I actually read the reviews recently, relatively recently, and it's gone very negative.
Really?
Yeah. So apparently they've gone to a pay to win kind of model. It was really cool at first when the servers were really alive and whatnot.
They probably didn't like change that. It was always like that before, but just because of the terrible launch, like all the server issues, they pretty much gifted everyone the free paid monthly benefits, like for like 6 months or something like that.
Yeah,
so
I remember.
Now around recently, probably is around the time that all those free ones are going to run out. And why people are now disliking the game because now it's like, oh, I got to pay for all these things I was getting for free now.
Right. Yeah, and then, I don't know, MMOs are kind of like a burnt, tired out thing anyway. I feel like it's just like a dead genre.
No, I wouldn't call it dead genre. I mean, it's like my brother is now playing, he's been playing Elder Scrolls online for a while now, and when the game first came out, he had played it, and he hated it then, and I tried it at his place, and I didn't like it either. It was stupid. It was just the interface was terrible. The gameplay was just average, very very standard. Buy MMO, yeah, that kind of thing, just to make money off of. But there was recently an expansion and some pretty big updates that apparently had changed a whole lot of stuff, and so pretty much he's having a blast with it. And I was just over at his place recently, and I checked it out, and it actually looked pretty awesome. Like, it's has a kind of a weird perspective for an MMO because you're always like you have a crosshair and you don't like target things like tab target like everything. Even he plays a healer, so he's targeting everything individually as if
crosshair. Right,
yeah, to make sure people get healed, and if people are out of position or doing dumb things, then they're not going to get healed and they're going to die. But he's been playing for a while. He's pretty much to the max level in there, but I don't know. That was a game that he's been begging me to play, but I just don't have the MMO itch at the moment. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie to you. Like, I had no interest in Elder Scrolls Online, but then when I saw that they were releasing a Morrowind expansion, I had to look at it, and I've watched some videos of people playing it just because Morrowind was like one of my first really large-scale open-world RPGs, so I have a lot of fond memories of it. So it was cool to see them bring it up to date. But at the same time, it's just like that's a nostalgia thing. It's all nostalgia. Our gaming right now is just trying to capitalize on nostalgia, and I need more than that. Because if I were to buy Elder Scrolls and get the Morrowind expansion, I'm telling you, it'd probably be 3 weeks before I was like, yeah, I've seen what I need to see. Back to the old. I don't know. What do I play? Anything? I don't even play games. Never mind.
You don't play. Why don't you go back to playing Rocket League, the game they don't like? By the way, people, I know I'm barely paying attention, so if you see me being terrible, it's because I'm not like... Yeah. I'm playing Rumble, obviously. This is not competitive junk, but I've been playing this game pretty much since its release, and it's by far like one of my favorite games ever.
He's played it more than just about anyone.
I'm not... It's kind of a shame because I should be much higher ranked than what I am for the over 2,000 hours I have put into the game. But I play with every one of my friends that they pretty much have
all different skill levels.
So it's always like one day I'm playing with platinums and diamonds, the next day I'm playing with silvers and golds. So my rank is always fluctuating. But this is definitely like one of my favorite games ever. So maybe one day we play on a Wii Play. Who knows?
Maybe.
I know Caleb wouldn't be down for that, but
I can tolerate this game for like 3 rounds.
I don't know, it's been one of my favorites for a long. Me and my girlfriend, we pretty much have a ritual of playing it every Saturday night, and we have held true to that for 3 years now. And
yeah, a long time.
Yeah,
man.
so it's almost a reason why we're together, but
man, it's the little things.
Yeah, it's wow, that was a good doing. That was a good shot. But yeah, but recently, he's been on his Diablo kick. I and many of my friends in and out of Steam have been playing a game called Talisman, which you've probably seen recently during the Steam sale, and it's an odd experience for sure. Think of it, imagine it as like a D&D mixed with a Monopoly mixed with Mario Party kind of stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's the only reason I include the Mario Party similarities is just because like it's kind of a game when one of your friends that you're playing with, you're all normally out to get each other. So when one person looks like they're in the lead by any means, he's immediately the target of everyone's hatred and badness. So it can be potentially friend killing type game stuff going on there, but it's pretty much like you choose a class, a character, and there's like 50 different types of them to choose from. And once you do that, you put it onto a board. It's just a board with different spaces on it. Some spaces do different things. One's a town. You can go there, buy and sell items. Some of them are just random like event spaces. Things can just appear there. And all the while, you're going to adventure around the map. It's kind of, you can go wherever you want. There's no like rotation to it. And you just try to get your own character more and more powerful and work your way to the center and it's almost like a King of the Hill situation where you try to hold position in the center of the map. And as you do that each turn, you slowly kill everyone else who isn't in there with you. And when they die, then that's when they die for good. Otherwise, if there's not someone in the center and you die, you actually just respawn. So that's how you actually become the winner of the game, is to kill everyone else by being in the center. Does the game totally rely on strategy, or is there a lot of RNG in it? There's a lot of RNG. I mean, it's essentially, technically, you could say it's all RNG, because every single thing that you do, every action you take, it's all based on a roll of a D6. You roll a dice for your... you obviously like a strength stats that goes into your how well you're gonna, how much damage you're gonna hit for, but you also roll a dice to add to that. So, say I'm fighting a boar with 1 strength and I have 2 strength. If I roll a 4, I'm hitting for 6. If the boar rolls a 5, then he's also hitting for 6. It's a stalemate. If the boar rolled a 6, then he's going to hit for 7, and I'm going to die there.
Right.
To a boar with 1 strength, which is like pitiful. So it's always going to depend on the dice rolls there. And there's a lot of, like, some of it is extremely random stuff that it can be a card where, like, you can land on a space at the very first turn of the game and summon a frost dragon with like 8 strength, and then there's no way you're going to win. And even with the help of the dice, if the dragon rolls a 1, you roll a 6, you're going to lose anyways. Like, that's actually when that occurs in the game, it actually gives you the option of, instead of rolling a dice, just hit the auto lose button, and it loses the fight for you and just deciphers it that way.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Rather than waste time.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's been like the first game I played, it was fantastic. We had a blast. I chose a character at random. It was a terrible character, but just due to the randomness of it, things went my way like every turn. So I just kept getting better and better, and then I was on my way to victory on the last leg of the game, and then I landed on a space, and I got greedy. I didn't have to do this, but I had a choice to roll a dice, and depending on the results, it would either like increase my stats or do something bad. And pretty much all the bad things weren't that bad. I would still be fine. There was one really bad thing that could have happened, which would be if I rolled a 1, I get to be turned into a frog for 3 turns. And when you're turned into a frog, you drop all your items. You have like 0 stats, and you're stuck like that for 3 turns. So, of course, I get turned into a frog, drop all my items, and then my brother comes by, picks up every last one of my items, and is able to go on to victory. So,
wow.
Yeah, but it was still interesting because the entire time I'm like this wimpy character that should not ever be able to be this strong, just tearing things up all across the map. And but that game lasted like 2 hours. It's definitely a commitment to try to play this kind of a game.
Yeah, didn't you have a game that lasted over 7 hours?
Yeah, that was pretty much misery. It started, the first couple hours were kind of fun, and then things went south, and I mean it was kind of our own fault. There's a whole bunch of different DLC to the game, and like the game itself, it's only like $3 or something just for the stock game. But there's a lot of DLC that you can buy with it to gain access to all the characters, all that. But there's another piece of DLC that turns on the Reaper, which the Reaper is this token that it's all based on chance, can be moved around the board, and when it lands on a character, that character rolls a d6 again, and bad things can happen, or even good things can happen with the Reaper. But the worst thing that can happen is if you roll a 1, obviously, you end up just dying outright. You're dead. You respawn with your base stats, but you lose everything, and you have to start all over again. And this Reaper did his job, and he just for 7 hours, anytime anyone was getting close to being able to win the game, here comes the Reaper and kills them. So
it kind of sounds like the Pursuer from Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2.
Yeah,
just pops up to ruin your day.
Yeah, it really was. It was. By the end of it, because there were 4 people in the game from the beginning. 2 of us had left at that point, and when you leave in the game, an AI takes over for you and just auto plays, and so there was only 2 of us left, and we were both actually working together just to finish the game, to make it be over. And we were finally just about there. We got to the, we got one of us really powerful, and he was about to go win the game. And then the computer, the AI, rolls for the Reaper, puts it on him, and he rolls a 1 and dies. We both immediately quit the game right then and there. We weren't even going to finish it at that point.
Ooh, clearly.
But then again, the Reaper, that was an optional thing that we turned on just to make the game more interesting.
He's never going to be included again.
Yeah, exactly. That's just something that we're never, ever going to use in any of our matches again. It was a terrible idea.
So, like, how much content do you actually get if you were to just pay the $3?
The $3 that comes with just the basic board and something like 12, 13, 14 characters, something like that.
Now, like, if I were to buy just that, would I not be able to play with you guys with your DLC? Or
no, you still have, even if we turn on DLC, you can still play it. And the only thing that like you don't get if we're playing with DLC is the characters that we are unlocking. So like essentially only the host needs a DLC. But if the host has a DLC, then he's going to be the only one having access to the characters unlocked with that DLC, which isn't really a big deal. None of them are like more powerful than another. It's all just preferential to playing.
Right.
So it's like if we enable the Frost March DLC, which adds like 5 new characters. If you don't have that, then you just don't get to pick them. I can pick it, and also it still unlocks like the map events and the things on the board for you that you can still use and interact with. You just don't have those 5 extra characters that would have come with it.
So that's not bad.
Yeah, you can still pretty much play no matter what. But just if there's pretty much, and even then you can buy the characters pretty much individually. So you can still look at the stats and see what everyone does. So if you see a character that you think you would really, really like, you can still pick it up individually for like $2 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but to buy all the DLC, we happen to be able to pick it up during the Steam sale, which I got like the regular game plus the season pass, all the good stuff, and that comes to like $28 or something. And so, like, you don't need to pay that much, obviously. Like I say, you can buy just the base game for whatever, $3. But now, if you want to get the base game plus the DLC, that's more like $60 now. It's not on sale anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, probably not entirely.
So, did that game release during the summer sale, or did it just gain a lot of traction? Because I noticed everyone plays it now.
Yeah, I have no idea. No, I mean, because apparently it's from a board game in the first place. It was originally a board game.
Okay.
It even says on the Steam page, like, it's Talisman Digital Edition. Right. So apparently this whole thing was already just a thing to exist.
A very complicated board game.
Exactly, yes. But as far as I know, it didn't get. I actually don't know the release date of it. But yeah, the board game itself, at least I know, has been around for a while. So it's nothing like crazy new. But yeah, it did gain a lot of traction while being on sale.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So my wife Misa has actually been playing the crap out of this game on her iPhone. Or wait, she doesn't have an iPhone. What does she have? Whatever. She's on her phone. She's been playing this game called Township, like all the time, like nonstop. I look over there and she's like, I think she's listening to me talking, and she's talking to people all over the world. So she started a guild in this game, Township. I guess it's called a guild, but she named it Helping Hands, and they're like consistently the top guild, like number 1. So I don't know what that requires, but it's definitely, just hearing that is surprising when you know who my wife is, right, Derek? Derek's played games with my wife.
I played this with your wife. Me and Misa used to play Rocket League a lot, and I mean, it was fun. It's fun to play games with her and everything, but sometimes when just the simplest of requests I ask, and she refuses, and in fact, like, goes in the opposite direction of what needs to be done to just do her own thing. So, I mean, remember her playing Dota?
Dota was the worst with Misa.
She would always be the...
She has an issue with authority. So if you, like, give her a direction,
mm-hmm.
if you can't somehow make her think it was her idea, the opposite is about to happen.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
We need a team fight center. I'm off pushing top lane.
Yeah.
It's like, no matter what. And
like, you are 2 towers deep, and we are all dead.
Yeah, and then she played it like it was a single player thing. Like, she refused to engage with the other people online playing with us, including her own team. So she's just pushing lanes, just killing, the NPCs and doing. She was good at it.
I mean, she always had like really good items and stuff.
We always had a good lane pusher every game, I guess, but it was just communication was not a priority for her.
But I guess things have changed because the guilds, they actually have a chat in this game, which is kind of rare for a phone game. Usually you can't talk to people on them. So there's like I guess you can just type right into the guild chat. And she has made friends with people from all over the world. And they're like friends on Facebook now. There's like tons of people in this group. So if you're interested, if you play Township or you're looking for something to play, you might check it out. Look up Helping Hands. And
one of their members is a baby factory.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things that's funny about it is, so she's been talking to these 2 girls. One of them is from Austria, and the other one is from Indonesia. And they can speak English, but it's clearly not their first language. And they like try to say things properly, and it just doesn't come out right through translation.
Watch this shot. Sorry, one second.
Let's see it.
This plunger, along with his punch, looped it around and tugged it in the goal. It was beautiful.
Very nice.
Go on, sorry.
So, they like the translations are a little weird, and so she was talking about one of these girls was talking about how she's a mom, and she called herself a factory, or she said she was the baby's factory.
Yeah, because it was a photo of her daughter or something, and she's like, yeah, that's my daughter. I'm her factory.
Yeah. So, like, because she made her inside of her. So, I guess technically that makes you a factory. That's a very strange way to think of it. But
for all we know, she's a robot,
she could be
and
an actual factory.
And she just I mean, have Indonesian technologies reached that point yet?
Maybe. I really don't know.
Who knows? So, but yeah, it could be an interesting thing if y'all are interested. Would you say that her name of the guild is or whatever?
Helping Hands.
Yeah, on Township. Who knows?
Yeah.
By the way, not sponsored by them whatsoever.
Not at all. I've never even played it.
Yeah, we just learned about this today, so. Well, at least I did. Yeah.
Join us for WePlay Party Game live streams. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday nights.
Cool so stuff. Yeah, so you and your brother have been playing some Grand Theft Auto lately, haven't you?
As probably everyone knows, GTA 5 has been a pretty big trend lately, and with the online play and people hacking to get money and all that kind of nonsense. So
a lot of videos.
Yeah, there are still. If anyone has ever seen Sheriff Eli, he streams on role playing servers for Grand Theft Auto 5, which is extremely entertaining, super fun, and Sheriff Eli is hilarious. Did I ever tell you about him?
I don't think so.
Sheriff Eli, he is an actual cop in Austin, Texas, I believe.
Okay.
And so there's role-playing servers on GTA 5 where you actually, for a lot of the servers, you actually kind of have to go through like almost an interview, and people review like the character that you're trying to portray, what are your motives, and
make sure you're actually going to uphold your duties.
Right, and don't just break character in the middle of the game. That's what they're, they want you to be in character on role-playing servers, obviously. And so Sheriff Eli, a cop in real life, is role-playing a sheriff in Grand Theft Auto 5. And so he's obviously got
natural.
Yeah, he's got the lingo for it and everything. And so if you ever, there's clips of him all over the place where he'll be just driving down the street and see someone committing a crime, and they actually have to sound the siren, chase him down.
And he actually says the real violation codes.
He's actually even got he's got I don't know if it's a part of the game or a voice mod, but even when he's talking on the radio, it's
it sounds just distorted.
We got fucking a 2550 going down Main Street now, and that whole thing, and he calls for backup, and just very well fun looking stuff. It's definitely cool stuff. Unfortunately, Rockstar did do a lot of shutting down of RP servers lately. Because they weren't making money, probably. I'm not sure. They're just being jerks.
Wow.
There still are some running.
A good thing.
Yeah, there still are some running, but I suspect they might get the cease and desist slapped on them as well. I'm really not too certain on how much is going on with that scene, but regardless, that's I started watching those Sheriff Eli and some other videos, and GTA looks a little bit fun, so I thought I'd give it a try. Me and my brother and a couple other of our friends. Some of us already had the game, and some of us bought it, and we started playing a little bit, and we had some fun times. Whenever we played with our friends that were super high level, they had decked out cars that were just driving around tanks. This is very, I don't know, breaks the immersion for me when it's it's I couldn't say that, but it was just kind of. Some of it was goofy, some of it was a blast. The first night we played, we robbed some gas stations and ran from cops, and it was hilarious and fun, and it does have some good aspects to it. But then, the next week, we're on there playing, and so it turns out there's a hacker on our server, and he invites us out to a yacht, and we get a bunch of money out there, and then it just became oh, I have all this money, I'm never going to rob a gas station again when that was so fun. I wanted to do that, but it didn't give really reason to anymore.
Right. Which
I guess at that point you're supposed to do the heists and stuff, which are pretty cool things, but really just haven't got time to get into that kind of thing yet. But anyway, so we got the money and whatever. But so here's the recent issue is that not all of us were online when we got all this money. So some of us suddenly became richer than anyone else, and we have got all this cool stuff, and one of our buddies didn't have any money, and so he wasn't there for the hacker. So, naturally, they end up looking into how do we become the hacker and make our own money.
Oh, no.
So, my brother and my buddy, they're online one day, it's just the two of them, and so apparently it was pretty simple to install, get things running, and just be able to spawn money, so they did that. And they got themselves all rich and all kinds of stuff and good things and whatnot. Oh, great, nice. But
Nice.
so then our buddy that was hacking at the time, he decides that he wants to try more things than just spawning money, and decided to do the worst possible thing to get them caught for hacking. He started using the teleport hack. So he's zipping all around the map, which is like so obvious for any moderator to like looking at the server to see like, oh look, the X and Y axis of this character is now just changing drastically.
Right.
How else could he be doing this if he wasn't hacking? So
Exactly.
like 2 minutes after he started teleporting, immediate ban. And it was a 30-day ban, so he's gone for a month. And then probably because he was nearby my brother when he was doing this, they saw him hacking and now he's banned as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's actually looking to set up a private server now so he can avoid the hack, but I don't know.
Well, was there any risk of getting a ban on Steam or anything?
No, it's just solely just a ban for GTA.
Right. I mean, that's so sketchy. The thought of hacking in any game on Steam makes you think, like, well, if you lost your ability to play online on Steam after dumping thousands of dollars
For 30 days, yeah, that would be
like,
that
I mean,
would be the worst.
people put thousands of dollars in their Steam libraries. I mean, I've got over 300 or 400 games now, so you just got to do the math. That would be the worst thing ever.
Look how you make him dance.
See, that is a nice car.
Oh, you like it? That's the Domino's GT.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a good one. I'm going to open some crates, by the way, people. I only got 3 left, but these are the new crates. These are the Overdrive. These got released with the Rick and Morty updates. Got some new paint types. Got some trails. The new feature added. This wasn't customizable before to have these trails. A couple new wheels. Knew that. But obviously the big thing here is the new goal explosions. So, fingers crossed, y'all. I get one of these. I want that one. I like cold weather. I like winter. And I like that explosion. It's needed.
Cool. Let's see if we can get it.
Yeah, got 3 more. I picked up a few of these just earlier. Just some of the leftovers I'll open here. But let's see. Hopefully, watch me get like one of the rarest things on stream. Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be awesome.
That would be. That's okay. I already had that one, I believe. Or no, I had Friction, so that's cool. At least I
Very
my
rare.
collection. Just before this update came out, I put a little bit of time and dedication into doing some deals, and currently I've got every crate item up to the Overdrive crate. So just about every item out there. Obviously, I don't have like the white hats, or I also don't have any of the alpha items, but I like my collection, so I like to keep it going here. Oh, sweet! I was really wanting that. It's a new paint
block.
It's a paint style. It's actually like you can change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look at the patterns.
Oh, yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, I can still have like different decals put in it, but it can have
it's Cuberty.
Yeah, very cool.
You got one more?
Yeah, looks like it's the last one.
All right, let's see what you get before we move on to the next topic. I'm intrigued by this. I'm a gambler at heart.
Oh, really? I should let you open the last one. Oh, yeah! I don't have that yet. What? That's one of the newer cars.
So this is really rare, right?
Well, it's fairly rare. It's not like super rare, but I'm super happy to get these.
That looks wild.
Yeah, because the new crates had 2 new cars. This is one of them that I was already using. That I just opened earlier today.
So now you got the other.
And now I got the other one. That's awesome.
Nice.
Cool. That's pretty.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So speaking of like gambling addictions and whatnot, so I recently got turned on to, thanks to Derek here, digital currencies such as Bitcoin, which, I mean, everybody's heard about Bitcoin, but there's actually a ton of these things. Cryptocurrencies is what they call them. And there's another one that we find particularly interesting, and it's Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been like learning about how to, use the marketplaces to make money off of this stuff, just like you would with the stock market. And things were going okay, kind of slow. And I had all my money tied up into a loan. So I found out that you can give loans, and this is a very safe way to make money. There's no risk involved with these loans. So
by the way, people, the money that we're using here has pretty much all just been money that it's not like our house payment or anything like
Right,
that.
right.
This is money that we are able to afford to lose is what we're working with here.
Right.
Kind of thing.
But it doesn't feel good. Let me just clarify. Losing it does not feel good. So I had all my money, which was roughly like $500 roughly, tied up into this loan. So it was going to make me like $20 in a couple of days or 10 days or something, which is terrible. But, you know, it was better than nothing, and I couldn't lose any money in this transaction. There's no way I could lose, so I was like, fine, I'll just set my money in this loan and not think about it for a little bit. But then Derek starts doing these crazy trades where he takes loans and he buys
large amounts of cryptocurrencies, one of which is Ethereum, which I was looking at the trends of it at the time. It looked like it was doing very well, and it was more like it hit a low, so it was more like, okay, this dude just keeps blowing me up. I'm upset about it. And, so it looked like it was about to do very well, and based on its patterns, I thought to myself, okay, it's a pretty good chance this is about to go up a good amount. And so, looking to make the most amount of profit, I did what's called a margin trade, which I can't catch that. So essentially, I took loans from other people, and being my initial currencies already on my account as collateral, it allowed me to essentially borrow a little over double what my actual value was and put that into Ethereum, which so I did so, and it ended up going up just as I thought it would in a pretty good fashion too. Like essentially I was within a few hours I was sitting on a profit of something like $600. Nothing too bad at all. So, and this is around before I did this, I shared this with Caleb. So with his money tied up in his current loan, I had some sitting money ready to go, and so for him to be able to get in on this same investment, I loaned him a chunk of my money so that he could use that loaned money to then buy more loans to do this trade.
So he loaned me basically $500. Which I then used as collateral to borrow roughly $1,500, and then I proceeded to essentially lose it all.
It wasn't all of it.
No. It was like
a chunk.
It was like 60%, and so I lost that, and that was really rough.
And it was mostly because while we were doing, you were still in the green essentially Like I didn't break out of that with the like 600 I was looking at. It dropped a good amount afterwards, and I wasn't at the ready to sell. So I still made a good profit, but not as much as I could have. So, but in the meantime, Caleb,
I got spooked because I couldn't figure out how to sell.
Yeah, he thought he was stuck in the trade.
I see, like, look, it's going up. But what if it goes down? And we both are new to this, and we don't even know how to sell out. So I try to figure out how to sell out. I did. I was successful. I sold out at a profit. But I was like, okay, I know how, but
I'm like, shot up
it
so
was
much.
Still growing. While right after I sold it, I was like, crap, I got to get back in. I have to get back in. And then I went back in, and it crashed.
Yeah, within like the 30 minutes from between him selling out to make the profit, it shot up like another 5%, and so he buys back in. But that's exactly where it stopped growing. So buying back in at the peak of its growth, and then it started dropping again and dropping.
And it's been fluctuating. So I actually afterwards, when my money from my other loan finally cleared out, I was able to use that and do a little bit safer day-to-day kind of trading without borrowing money from other people, just doing it with my own cash. And I was able to get my money back up enough to be able to pay Derek back his loan. But holy crap, what a journey that was.
Yeah.
I've actually got all my money tied up in it right now in Ethereum, and it's been sitting low all day. And actually it was sitting low yesterday as well. So I was hoping to actually make some profit today, but it doesn't look like I'm going to. But we'll just hold on for dear life and see what happens.
Yeah, if anyone is familiar with Ethereum, then you know it had gone up a huge amount. Like over the past few months, it's gone up an increase of like over hundreds of percent from what it was before.
Right.
And but something has been causing issues. There's been all kinds of ties up in, certain governments are looking at like they just don't want it, but
rumors, all kinds of stuff have been causing some stagnation.
And then not just that, but even the network, like the trading sites where people go to trade around these different cryptocurrencies, they've been having network difficulties with Ethereum, and due to that, a lot of them don't even trade Ethereum at the moment. So it's been hitting like some pretty big low points, but it's still. Am I going to catch this dude?
Holy
I'm not going to
crap.
catch it. I can't. Wow. But so
Hold in.
Yep. But so pretty much it's. If you're looking into it, I recommend Poloniex, Poloniex is a website that we have been using recently for our tradings. There's also like Bitrex. I used that before, but apparently it's got some slower updates on numbers. And Coinbase is where we have also used some trading to get into it initially. But as you said, we're both fairly new to this. It originally was turned on me by a friend of my dad's who. This guy has been like studying the stuff for a very long time, and he's essentially like he sees that this being so valuable to get into. Like he's planning on retiring in like 5 years just due to the profits he can make off of these cryptocurrency stuff. So
right. So I mean, you can obviously see the appeal of this stuff. I understand that it's definitely not for everybody, and
a lot of it is gambling. A lot of it is just risk taking.
It's some of the most volatile. Markets you could ever buy into. Yeah. But if you look at it less as a way to make money and more of just here's some money that I wouldn't be sad to miss, just like gambling, just like taking to a casino.
We're playing buying a game. Like we have fun doing this anyway, like trying to predict the graphs and setting up these trades and just having fun dealing with the money. It's almost like what's that one game that Misa loves to play? The Enterprise or whatever.
Oh yeah, I know it's a clicker game. What is that called?
I don't know. It's Billionaire Enterprise.
Yeah, you play as like this rich dude. A venture capitalist.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it's almost like that's like a version of a venture capitalist for us,
but it's real,
right? So obviously, don't buy in with like all the money you have and bet the farm on it. It's just something that if you're interested in, it's worth looking into. If you're decent at doing it, if you do the research, you
could make some money, man. You
so
can make some serious money.
It's just some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's something we've been thinking a lot about lately. I'm sure.
Yeah,
my mind's been kind of fixated on it.
Yeah, he loses sleep over it. He got into it a little bit later than me. I did a lot of trading on Bitrex and had some pretty big investments. So I'm in the green a pretty large amount. So I've got a lot of
wiggle comfort.
Yeah, I promise. That's why I did the margin trade on the Ethereum in the first place. Like I had the money to try, to attempt that, see how it works, and so that's how I initially even got into this kind of stuff.
All right, so enough about all this digital currency bullshit.
Yeah.
Actually, so I just want to bring this open, an idea, throwing it out there to you guys. I want to see what your responses are. But has anyone seen Harmon Quest? If you have seen Harmon Quest, did you like it? We personally love Harmon Quest. Now, I can't make any type of production that is anywhere close to being Harmon Quest. So don't think I'm making my own version. But it has actually got me a little bit interested in DnD. And Derek, he's a member of a DnD group every week, and he's been having a blast with it.
Oh, yeah.
So we are considering just playing with the idea. It wouldn't be anytime soon, but we are playing with the idea of starting our own D&D group, which would be 100% documented through the YouTube channel. Everything that we do would be known on the YouTube channel, and
right. If obviously we can have the recording going during the sessions. Probably not, I don't know about animating the
there
sessions
wouldn't be
at
any
all.
Animating.
If anyone out there wants to do it, feel free. But it would be not done by us. This would just be a vocal only type thing.
Oh, that would be amazing if someone animated that stuff. That would be a dream come true.
Yeah, it was just some basic stuff, but that would be fantastic. But it's something that this isn't going to be happening anytime soon, most likely. But it's like for me, I like before. Wow, how did I miss that? Because our D&D group has been going on since the first Sunday of the year. So over the past 7 months now, we have been playing D&D every single Sunday. Which actually one of our D&D members, his name is Nick. He plays a character named Barath. He's a dragonborn barbarian, but he actually streams our sessions every single Sunday. He streams on Twitch. His name is James, like Disjames. And,
James Baxter. Sorry.
You can also, you can also see my channel on there. I stream rarely, at least it was on there. But regardless, so he streams all of our sessions. It's more for our own benefit, so we can
remember what just happened.
Well, yeah. Sometimes he saves it all to the past broadcasts, and we can recall them to see what happened at that point or another, and see like last time on Dragon Ball Z kind of thing, and But he like I say, he's got a whole camera setup. He's got a very nice layout for the way that he streams. Also, we use Fantasy Grounds. It's if you've never heard of it, it's on Steam, and it's a way to play D&D online with whoever you want. It's extremely nice and does a lot of the old school calculations that you had to do with pen and paper just automatically. It makes things so much smoother, and everyone loves it. Especially our DM. His name is Johnny, and He's been a dungeon master for like over 20 years now. He started DMing when he was in the military, and he started back in D&D version 3E, and like that was back still pen and paper stuff, a whole lot of complicated mechanics, and he was running sessions with like upwards of 14 people at a time in his barracks. So
which is huge.
Yeah, which is insane for a D&D group. So. Obviously, he doesn't do groups that big anymore, just for make life easier on him. But he's definitely experienced and knows what he's doing. So I wish. Essentially, like I've been before I even met Johnny in late 2016, I was starting to get interested in D&D. I had never played it before. Was suddenly seeing a few things. This is before I seen Harmon Quest. Before I started watching Critical Role, and I just suddenly had some interest in D&D, mostly because I played Divinity, which that's another game on Steam that goes by pretty much the rules of Dungeons and Dragons. But regardless of that, essentially, I started to look for a group and a DM and someone to play with late last year, and I couldn't really find anyone. So, like, well, I'll be the DM myself. I'll scrap together whoever I can. I'll make this happen. I was determined, and then I met Johnny, and it's like, oh, perfect, let's get you in here. And then everyone jumped in on it, so now we have a great group of 7 people, and like I said, it's been every Sunday for the past 6 months, and I don't think we've missed like maybe one session, so we've been very consistent with it, and it has been a freaking blast. Like, and very, we try to stick to the styling of, if you're familiar with Critical Role, that's a D&D group with Matt Mercer and a bunch of voice actors, and you can check them out at Geeky and Sundry. They've been playing D&D on there for like the past 3 or 4 years, and very into the role playing aspects. Obviously, you can break character and whatever. It doesn't not like very strict on that, but we also even go by a lot of his brewed rules and how to do the game. And so that's kind of the styling that we look for. So there even have been a few emotional moments. I remember one session, my girlfriend Rachel was playing with us. She plays a what is that called? A weird like half giant furball. She plays a furball monk, which is like an unheard of class style. It's very strange, but she nearly died one session. We really were prepared. Like, I thought she was dead for sure. And we're like in the same room. Her computer's just next to mine, and I look over, and she is legitimately in tears, like so sad. Because she's been playing this character for the past. This was like a few months ago. Die. Yeah, for months she's built this character and has she wrote the background story. Her backstory on her character sheet is like 5 pages long. Like, wow. She wrote everything for this person, and it's almost like you almost call it a pet, like right. And it was about to die, and thankfully someone did manage to save her, but like it was very stressful for that session. So, but oh my god, wow. Terrible. But essentially, that's the kind of, which is the same way that Critical Role is. If anyone is a fan of that show, which, by the way, if you're not and you're into D&D, I would definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorite things to watch, and the same styling there. There are some episodes when characters die that are not going to come back, or at least have a chance of not coming back, and which means that they're gone forever. And there's some tears on that show in some episodes where it's, all that depressing kind of stuff can happen. But still, it's that's the kind of thing that I want and pretty much I found, and I love it. And so, essentially, before though, I was trying to learn to be a DM myself, and now that I've got Johnny with me in my own session, he's been showing me the ropes, more of how to do it, how DMing appropriately should be, and I've been wanting to try DMing for a long time now. So this is why we're coming up with the idea of possibly doing our own little session here. If
Right.
Most likely just going to be like with Caleb and Misa, and possibly if anyone else does have the time for it, it will be a small session, and would be very first timey learning type stuff. I mean, they've never played DnD.
Never played it.
And this
And
would
like
be,
our full experience, me and Misa, would be
Harmon
Quest,
Quest.
which doesn't follow conventional D&D rules.
Yeah, not at all.
It's its own
Not that I'm
sub-game.
against that kind of thing. Like, obviously,
it's totally cool.
right. With that Harmon Quest has a lot of rule bending in just on the DM's whim, just to keep things going.
Right.
Obviously, that's something that I would probably start with just to get them introduced to the game and stuff. But then, when probably just for a one-off session or something like that. But getting into an actual campaign, a long-term thing, that's where it would kind of get further away from Harmon Quest and more towards the Critical Role style things.
Right.
So that's something let us know if you would want to see that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're probably going to do it regardless, and
Eventually, yes.
Yeah, and if we just decide whether or not that should be on the channel, we'll have the recordings and we can put it up there. But
Right.
It will be something that most likely we will be doing. It's just whether or not we should make it a thing, kind of thing, right?
Correct. So, if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know, because if there's a lot of interest in it, it might happen sooner.
Right.
And also, it might, if it seems like there's going to be enough interest in it, it might be something I'm willing to put more time and resources into versus maybe some of the other things that we do on the channel. So,
Right.
so it's just see what the audience thinks about that idea. But I think we've hit a wall here. We've run out of things to talk about this week.
Yeah, and also I just got disconnected from like 3 games in a row. So
Yeah, so I mean, I guess perfect timing.
yeah, he's giving us a little bit of a sign here.
So we've got a few replays coming up, and we will be back with you guys again for the 3rd episode of the Weekly Express. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Love you. Bye-bye.
New episode of the Weekly Express every Sunday. So join Notification Squad and you won't miss out.
Hey, thanks for watching. Happily ever after gaming, man. Yeah, man.